My project is designing an interface that will be able to sample and edit music in a way that you can use it on the go, at home in studio, or in a live situation. I've made a few pieces of hardware, and this is what they are. So we have the wiimote, which is sellotaped to a Arduino, and a breadboard, which is connected, of course, to the computer. And there's also an ultrasonic sensor attached to it as well. And then in my other hand, we've got the nunchuck with a bit of a book actually attached to it by nails and some other bits and bobs. So we've got a very kind of makeshift interface right here. Okay, so this is the front of my Max patch. It's all very messy behind, but as long as it's nice and presentable on the front. So we're going through Soundflower now. Now it should only come on if I turn this. There we go. This is going to indicate when I'll be recording. So, and you can see it writing into the buffer up there. Okay, that's enough. We just moved into capture mode 2, and this is basically where you define which part of the buffer you want to use, so you can trim off the edges in case you weren't quite accurate when you had recorded it in the first place. Now I'm going to be able to change the amount I trim off at the start of it based on the pitch of the Wii, so like this. So I'm going to press, which is the Z button, and I can continue skimming through it this way. Okay, and now if I want to trim off some of the end of it as well, basically holding another button on the Wiimote, and then it reads what the Arduino reads, which is the distance between my hands. So watch. So moving on to manipulation mode, which is mode number 3. And if we go back to method 2, I prefer this one, so we're going to stick with this one. This is the other option I'm showing you now, where you can affect the speed without affecting the pitch. Okay, probably getting a bit sick of the sample, but too bad. So moving into pitch mode 4 now. This is mode 1. And again, I'm just moving my hands in and out to detect this. Okay, mode 2 is the button slightly to the right, or the number slightly to the right, which is glide function, so it glides from note to note. We're going to move over to this mode here now, number 3, a mode within mode, if you will. And what that will do is it will select only certain degrees of a scale. So we have 5 scales to choose from. Let's go with the whole tone. Basically it changes the intervals by whole tones. So that's mode 4. And now we're just about to go into mode 5. Effects mode. We have a little GUI interface here which can tell you what order you want the effects to be in. So right now I just have it in order delay 1, after that EQ, and then the messy effects. I've changed the sample for you. I'm sure you're sick of it. I know I am as well. So to change the delay feedback, I'm basically changing the pitch of the Wiimote while holding 1. So let's start the sample. And now I'll change the delay time. Okay, that's good. EQ. And I'll turn this on as well. Okay, so left and right should choose which band I'm in. The Wii pitch and button 1 changes the gain. And change the frequency by using the sensor. And again, I'm just moving the sensor away from the book, or the flat surface, moving my hands apart essentially. So moving straight onto the messy effects. So very quickly, I've already set one of them off. It sounds like this. Okay. And then if I want to change the sample, if I want to downsample, and that came from the original. Okay. And that's the basics of it. So that's pretty much the extent of my patch. I'm sorry I couldn't get it smoother. I spent so much time programming it, I barely had enough time to master it. So this is a presentation mode. Very nice. Underneath it, not so nice. It's this is the main part of it. Below we have all the shite basically that I just created in order to create that lovely presentation that you see up there. So we can ignore all this section. This is the main part up here. So what do we have? You have your section here. This is where all the information comes in and gets distributed from the Wiimote, sent to all the right places depending on the mode that it's in. So this detects the movements I have of the joystick on my nunchuck, which chooses up to 6 modes, well up to 5 modes, the main mode not included. And then that will send the mode number here. Depending on which one it is, will open a certain window, which is a very cool feature I never knew of before until recently. So, and of course we have the Arduino code here. This just detects what the Arduino is reading and puts it through and sends it to all these modules. So first we have the, in order of how we go through them, the source mode, where you listen to your source essentially, and you can record in that point. Okay, and then we go into capture mode. They're all in the other window, of course. And this is, as I said, where you can trim things off. From that point we go into manipulation mode. This is where we can change the speed using one of two methods, method 1, method 2, and of course you can change between affecting the pitch and not affecting the pitch. Then goes into pitch mode. There's the scales you can choose from. The individual pitch modes, snap, glide, and scale degree. Nothing interesting down here really apart from the usual commands for the Wiimote to send it. Oh, one other thing I forgot to mention, in manipulation mode you have a small feature of playing the music backwards or forwards as well. Finally going into effect mode. This took a while to figure out how to do because I wanted to be able to change, I wanted the user to be able to change the order. So there's one of these in the main presentation screen where you can click order 1, 2, 3, or you can change them around, or like that. So first we'll have sample distortion now, then equalizer, then delay. but we'll stick with what I had there before. Okay, and this is the logic I use in order to see which one is which, or in order to put them in a certain order, basically. So effect 1 is delay. It's my most basic effect, I think, but effective nonetheless. And number 2 is EQ. This one's much trickier to set up. With the controls for EQ in here. And number 3, effect number 3, which is basically just messing with it, messing up the sound as much as it possibly can, degrading the sample rate, degrading the bit rate, downsampling and frequency shifting. They all come to some very odd sounds in the end. And you can have a low pass filter passing through it as well, which makes the whole sound even more familiar. Okay, and after effect mode we go into monitor mode. These should always stay on anyway. There's no reason to stop the signals going through unless it's too loud or unless there's malfunction or feedback. And then down here I actually have these working to key commands in case it does get too loud as well. I can quickly turn it down without the use of the Wiimote, although I have that working as well using the Wiimote now. So it's only if the old Bluetooth module doesn't work. And then it comes through to the output in the end. That's it.